Why do we randomly have
No, Louisiana doesn't count. Louisiana, I know. Louisiana, no, Indiana, New York, Indiana. I just said that. Hey, babe. How are you, babe?
Okay, so let's talk about Freytag first. And why is this called Freytag's pyramid analysis? Right, because a guy named Freytag created it. That is exactly right. What was wrong with the original plot pyramid? How many of you guys have studied plot in other classes? Okay, how is this different? Campbell.
There's no point.
Usually y'all go like this, right? Okay? Just go straight up, straight down. This is a little bit different. Do you agree more with this, more with the one in English? What do you think?
I agree just because I think there's more detail than it was in that.
Okay, if this is a more detailed version, good. What else?
There can be like more than one climax. There are different ways where there's different like large things happening. So it's not always just one thing and everything's done.
Good, yes. Usually if a story's good, it's going to pique your interest several times. You're going to be like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Very few stories are written to just go, right? Yes.
I agree with this one more because usually in like stories and movies, books and stuff, whenever there's first a conflict, you don't just fix it and then that's the end. There's like a conflict and then you fix it. Oh, you think it's gonna be happy. Then there's another conflict and then there's another conflict. And that one's more accurate because there's more than one climax.
Good, okay. Brady, what do you think?
I think that I hear the Aaron, but I also think like I've read books where it's like very like just there's a conflict, there's like a climax, there's action, and it's really boring. But but I couldn't really put it on that because there wasn't enough stuff in the book, so that's what the only. So I think it depends.
Okay, that's a good point, and something that we've talked about when I've studied this is that this usually applies almost always to performance material. If you look at, you can do this to movies, you can do this to plays, and it's usually always more relevant to use this one than it would be to use the basic like this. Books sometimes are a little bit different, which is weird because they're longer, but sometimes they're written in a more basic format, or like short stories definitely is where you would use the smaller one, like a poem or a short story. A lot of the times you don't have such a detailed analysis that you can do, but almost anything that is performed, it's going to look like this if it's performed and interesting to watch, because like y'all were saying, people don't just want to invest in like one arc, right? You want lots of different things going on. That's life, right? Life doesn't happen like this, it happens like all over the place. So Freytag basically was a person who started thinking about that. He looked at the old method, which was the up down, and said, wait a minute, I think there's more to it than this, and consistently more to it. If you take Hamlet, and he took Hamlet and he plotted it out, and then he took a modern day film, Die Hard, and plotted it. It's like you can do that, and it almost always is relevant to the Freytag pyramid. So, as people in drama, I would encourage you to embrace this version. Why is this useful to you? Like, you're not in an English class right now, you're theater students. Why are we talking about this, and why is this useful in theater?
Maybe like you can improve your character and how they're acting.
Okay, good. Does knowing the arc of your character's story help you be a better performer and actor? Of course it does. What else? Why else would we need it? Yes.
Do you know which moments like emphasize?
Good. We know what our critical moments are. Yes.
So you can understand what's going on throughout the story.
Okay, good. Yes, you have to have an understanding.
To know when to build and when to like drop it back down.
Good. Yes, builds are super important. And what if you're doing one act? And what's the deal with one act? That's very important.
You have one act.
You have one act to tell a story, 40 minutes. So you've got to cut. So is this useful if you're going to cut a story? Yeah, it can be very useful to you because you can figure out, hey, we can't cut that part because that's a climax moment. This is kind of falling action, or this is, exposition. You can cut a little bit here, but definitely not this, okay? So that can help because sometimes it's very daunting to get Hamlet in front of you, and it's 5 acts, and in its entirety is almost 5 hours, and then go, I'm going to make this a 40-minute show, okay? Yes, and that happens. And there are directors who turn it over to their students and go, you guys cut it. And I'll come back and see what you have. And so, good stage manager, the first thing they're going to do is go, our assistant director is going to go, okay guys, let's fry tag this. Then let's trigger and heap it. That's why I teach you these things, not just because I want to give you guys busy work, but because I feel like they can help you, not only in here, but when you get to high school. It is going to blow your director's minds when you're a freshman going, hey, let's fry tag this out and see where we can make some cuts. The director's going to be like, oh my god, I love this kid. So that's what I want for you guys. I want you to have these tools so that even if, you don't use it in front of everybody, but if you go home and fry tag something and realize, oh my gosh, that's a pivotal moment for my character, and then start to play that, the director's going to go, oh my god, I love this kid. They get that. So this is important stuff because a drama just read, like if you just sat there and read through Sala and didn't do all this, would you get all the moments? Would you understand? It's very difficult to just read through it once and go, I got this. Right? There's a lot going on in this story. And there's 2 stories really. So this stuff like this can really help you. Even doing Romeo and Winifred is helpful. Doesn't matter what show. It can be something that's serious or it can be something light and fun. It's still helpful if you get cast in a show to do this. And get, you have friends in here now, they all know this. So get together with 3 friends and go, let's, have a fry tag party and have a good time. So let's figure this out together. So what did you guys put for your initial stasis stuff? Let's see if we agree, disagree, whatever. Okay. Somebody tell me initial stasis.
Younger, old Sala.
Yes. Yeah, good question. So let's start with young Sala for now. What's the initial stasis with young Sala's family?
His sister is sick.
Okay.
Getting
Rizel is sick and has received a letter to go to a work camp. Good. Anything else that's initial stasis?
They have a low supply of food. Sala's sister is sick. They live in the ghetto where there's not very much money.
Okay. In where? Where are they at? Ghetto in what country?
Germany.
Poland. Okay, so Rizel is sick. Who is Rizel?
Sister.
Young Sala is sick. She's received a letter to go to a work camp. They're low on food. They live in a ghetto in Poland. Do you have anything else that you guys feel is pertinent that we need to put on here? Okay. I think that's pretty good. Now let's go Old Sala. What is their initial stasis? Okay, Sala's having bypass surgery.
Everyone's preparing for their mother or / grandmother.
Bypass surgery.
Excuse me.
Yes.
She's 92 years old.
Okay, good. Her age is important. Imminent for Old Sala. Excellent. Thank you, Kaylee. She is elderly.
Yeah.
So 92.
I know.
She has bypass surgery imminent. The family. Who is the main family that we're meeting? And Caroline. And Elizabeth Kirshner are helping her get ready. Ready to go to the hospital. Anything you guys disagree with or want to add? Okay. That's good. Okay, so what's our crisis turning point? 1, our inciting incident concludes the part where it is found and upsets the status quo for young Sala. Yes.
Sala asks to go in crisis.
Okay. Sala asks to go in Marisol's place. Does anybody disagree with that or want to change that? We would all agree that just her asking is our turning point.
No, her solid is Giselle's.
There we go. I agree. Like the asking is kind of a stasis thing, but her actually getting like granted permission to go. Sala it is decided. It is decided that Sala will take Okay. So what about for old Sala? What's the turning point there? This one's a little bit more difficult.
She gives the letters to Anna
I agree. Does anybody disagree or have a different one? Gives letters to Anne. Good. Okay. Rising action. We have a lot. We'll just pick some of the big ones here. What is the rising action for young Sala?
She meets all.
Okay, good. Meets Ala. Yes.
Add to the meet Sala one, and she promises Sala's mom to take care of Sala.
Meets Ala, who promises. Yes, Peter.
Her last name is Goncars.
Yes, Sala's last name at this time is Goncars. Okay. Meets Ala, promises to care for Sala Goncars. What else is part of a rising action?
Sala does everything and keeps all the orders she receives.
Sala starts to keep her letters. Letters, which is against rules. Okay, one more. What else do we have? Yes, Rachel.
Ala's put into a new camp.
Ala is moved. Okay, does anybody have any disagreements or anything to add there? Yes? The next climax is when she gets separated from Ala.
Climax instead of C.
Yes. So Campbell proposes that the climax is Ala being moved to a new camp for the young Sala story. Does anybody agree, disagree?
I agree.
Like Sala losing her.
Okay, so we'll maybe move that one down here for now. What about these guys she's meeting?
Yeah, she's
They're
following it.
Wow.
That's
She's following too many guys. She's slowly.
okay, meeting.
She's desperate.
It's not really desperate.
She needs some.
It's loneliness.
Jordan!
What do you say?
Looks at Ariel.
Jordan, stop whatever is happening with that cherry.
It's such a
You need the milk.
I feel like just for the guys.
He's the one who needs the
Okay. Alright, what about old Sala?
She returns from her bypass surgery. Well, and she's like, well.
Okay.
The daughters are kind of
She's
upset that
recovered.
Sala didn't tell her about the Lexington turnaround.
Okay. And upset she didn't know about letters.
Anne has the letters translated and feels that she started writing them.
Okay.
Anne starts to question Sala about the letters in her past one.
Starts writing a book.
Okay. And research. Writing books. Yeah, I would agree that that one probably goes to the climax. What did y'all have for the climax?
I put that she decides to go solo.
Wait.
That's my climax.
Anne is fighting with daughters about what to do with letters.
And then they compromise about who's
Okay. So the and who's keeping what? she dies, but I don't think that's the climax. Okay, climactic scene. Our next climax that we talked about for young Sala was what?
All
Just all
Children. Excuse me, Rebecca.
Uh-huh.
She sent a letter.
Yeah, she sends lots of letters.
Yep.
True. Old Sala climax we're saying is what? The
Anne decides to donate the letters to the New York City Public Library.
Yeah.
And their daughters are horrified about it.
And she says she's gonna get all of
Donate all of them because they want the entire collection.
The daughters are horrified at this.
Okay, good. The button, Crisis 2, the pair at the end of the climactic scene, something that physicalizes or drives a nail